How's everyone doing? Today we got ourselves another top 10 most expensive Pokemon cards featuring a set that I'm pretty sure most of you have never heard of, but it is an awesome set. It's the Southern Islands Collection set. That's right, Southern Islands Collection. Now, some of you are probably wondering, when did this set come out? It actually came out in the middle of a the Neo series. So Neo Genesis, Neo Discovery, Neo Revolutions, all those set cards and everything. This came out about in the middle of it, so back in the very early 2000s. These cards are very cool and unique as they're like island-escent kind cards, so you're going to see some really cool cards. By the way, if you haven't yet, please go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel as well if you'd like to see more awesome content like this video. And don't forget to drop a comment down below letting me know what set or said Pokemon you would like to see featured in next week's top 10 most expensive. Now, with all that being said, let's get into today's top 10 most expensive Pokemon featuring Southern Islands Collection. Starting off here with number 10, we got ourselves the Ivysaur from Southern Islands. This Ivysaur is starting us off at $14.70. Not too high, but as you can see, it kind of has a island-esque glow to it with grassy palms behind it and a nice ocean background with an own island in it. You also have here, I think that is a Pidgey. I can't really tell, but that's definitely Togepi. This card is going for $14.70 with a last year market price of $18.24. So this card is actually decreased in a profit. It's actually at the cheapest point you can buy the card. Also, you could tell it's a Southern Island card with a little palm tree in the right-hand corner where you would see a jungle set card, base set 2, Team Rocket Fossil in that spot. At number 9, we have ourselves the Ladybug Southern Island Reverse Holo here. This card is going for $15.88. If you look at this card from a year ago, we can see that it was at a high of $17.15. So this card has only fluctuated about $2 in the past year, so nothing crazy on there. But we're in the double digits to start off with the number 10, and this is just going to keep on going up. Wait till you see what number 1 is. Number 8 is going to be the Wartortle from Southern Islands with a horsey double feature in there. Both looking like they're shooting some water out at the beach to probably get those sunbathers watered and not keep burning. It's going for $17.84, and if you look at last year's price, you can see that this card has actually gone up from $15.74 to $17.83, so it's gone up about $2. This set isn't exactly huge, although it does have some bangers in it, but it is a pretty cool set to collect it and easily finish off if you want to collect an old school set. At number 7 is going to be Lapras from Southern Islands featuring Jatini with him, and they're just chilling in the little cove area. This card is only worth $19.13, and if you look at last year's price tag, you can see that this card was going for $18.28, so only up about $1, and a lowest point of $17.13. So none of these cards have really been fluctuating too high and too low in the past year, around $2 or so. At number 6, we have ourselves Vileplume Reverse Holo from Southern Islands Collection, going into the $20 mark now with $20.60 for this card. If you look at this this card from last year, you can see that it was going for $19.11. So again, it gone up about $1.49 since last year. But it is really cool with the 2 Vileplumes in there. And honestly, if you're on a Southern Island, you could totally mistake them for some beautiful, extravagant plant that you probably wouldn't know if it was a real or a Pokemon, because you've never been there. At number 5, we have ourselves Jigglypuff featuring Dugtrio and a Weeping Bell in the background as well. This card is going for $25.30 with a last year price tag of $25.76. So it's gone down by about 20 cents. So this card hasn't fluctuated really too much. But the lowest point of this card was back in June at $23.77. So really, this card is pretty much at where it was a year ago. At number 4, we have ourselves Meryl, Southern Islands Reverse Holo, going for $25.63, featuring one of my 6 Pokemon, Magikarp, flying through the air with him. Who's chasing who, or who's running from who, I really can't tell, but it is a cool looking card. $25.63 is what this really cool card will get you. And if you look at last year's price tag, you can see that this card was down at $19.28. So this card has gone up about $6 in the past year. Now, before we go ahead and get into the top 3, we're going to go ahead and do the honorable top 5 mentions that just quite didn't make it into the top 10. Number 5 of the 5 honorable mentions is going to be the Primeape Southern Islands. I like how all these Pokemon cards feature another Pokemon in it. If you haven't noticed that, literally every single card that I've shown you has had another Pokemon in it. And this one is no exception, with Primeape chilling with Venomoth. This card is only going for $11.68. And last year, it was at its lowest price of $9.32, so only a $2.50 raise since last year. That's not that good in today's modern depression. $2.50 raise, find a new job. Next up, we have ourselves Pidgeot from Southern Islands. All these are Southern Islands, I know I said that. We got Venonat in the background, along with an Onix, and I want to say Mew, but I definitely know it's not a Mew. It could be a Mew. I really don't know, to be honest with you. But Pidgeot is going for $12.06. This card's last year price tag actually was at a pretty decent high compared to now at $12.30, so only a 30-cent increase, but like with the rest of this set, the littlest bit is what you're gonna get. At number 3 of the top 5 honorable mentions is going to be Tentacruel, featuring Dragonite flying overhead. That's actually a really cool thing, as he looks like he's honestly reaching up to the palm trees to grab some coconuts. Maybe that's his little fan favorite. Dragonite's like, yo, the second you grab one, I'm swiping in, taking it, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. This Tentacruel is going for $12.38 with a last year price tag of $11.77 and a low point of $10.66. So this card has really only gone up about $1 since last year. Number 2 of the top 5 honorable mentions is going to be Butterfree. Oh, yep, there's a Venomoth in there. I was about to say no featured Pokemon, but Venomoth is in there. Butterfree is going for $12.59 with a last year price tag of $12.59, so really a difference of nothing. And the lowest point was $11.99, so this card hasn't fluctuated at all since last year, which is kind of crazy. The number 1 most expensive honorable mention now is going to be Onix, coming in at $14.48. We also have Dragonite in there, Venomoth in there, and what I'm guessing is Pidgeot. Honestly, this looks like it is the... Where was Pidgeot? Right here. So you got Pidgeot right here along with Onix right there, and it literally looks like they just cropped over to the right, with Onix being in the main shot and Pidgeot being off to the left. Although I do not see Dragonite up there at all, but Venomoth is there and Venonat is there on him, so that's literally what that is. I'm assuming all these put together just make up one straight picture, which is pretty awesome. So back to this, Onix is going for $14.48 with a last year price tag of a high $17.43. So this card has actually gone down by $3.05. Now it's time for the top 3 most expensive Pokemon cards from the Southern Islands collection set. Number 3 is going to be the Reverse Holo Slowking, King of the Islands, featuring Psyduck and Bellsprout in there, going for the highest so far of $37.14. If we look at last year's price tag, we can see that this card was going for $32.25, so it has increased in $5, which so far this Reverse Holo is the most increased in a year's worth of profit out of the 13 cards we've gone over. It's time for the number 2 most expensive Pokemon card. Number 2 goes to the Togepi Reverse Holo. Togepi going ahead, chilling here with what looks like a Bulbasaur, a Pikachu, and a Squirtle, I'm assuming? Maybe a pancaked Bulbasaur, I'm not really sure. But let's say Squirtle, Pikachu, and Bulbasaur are going along with Togepi. This card is going for $41.76 with a last year price tag of $36.03. So it's gone up about $5.50 since last year, and it has a high of $44.05 with a low of $35.49. Now, it's time for the number one most expensive Pokemon card in the entire Southern Islands collection. The number one spot goes to none other. Can you guess it? Yeah, you're right. It is No, I'm just kidding. It's not a Charizard. There's no Charizards in here. They're using the cute, cuddly Pokemons in this one. Although I don't know how Onyx makes it into that category, as he can crush anything. But that's not the point. Number one goes to the lovable 151. That's right, it goes to Mew Reverse Holo. And why would you look at that? Charizard still has to be in the number one spot, featured in the background of the Mew Reverse Holo. And Pidgeot's in there as well, chilling. So that is Mew in there that I saw with Pidgeot. Remember, if you look at this, you have Pidgeot and you have what looked like Mew. Now you go to the number one spot and you got Mew with the tail and the Pidgeot. Dude, all these cards put together just make one giant picture, and that's awesome. Pokemon Company should definitely think about doing a separate little like side set like this, since I haven't seen anything like this ever since this set, but you know, that's just me. This card is going for $117. We did get one card in the triple digit price tag, $117. And if we look at last year, we can see that this card was only going for $105.52. So it's gone up about $11 since last year. The low of this card was $101.54, so it didn't even drop below $100. It also has a high of $118.23. Still funny how Charizard just has to get on the number one most expensive card in the set. Dude can't let anyone have that number one spot. That concludes today's top 10 most expensive Pokemon cards featuring Southern Islands. If you haven't yet seen this set or ever gotten any, I say go and check it out. The cards aren't that expensive. If you buy it sealed, you're going to go broke. But if you buy the cards individually, the set probably doesn't look like it's going to cost anything more than like maybe $300 max. That's a lot, but if you buy the stuff sealed, it's going to be well over $1,000. I can tell you that right now. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's top 10 most expensive Pokemon cards featuring Southern Islands collection. If you would like to see another set that you have in mind, or a specific Pokemon itself featured in next week's top 10 episode, please feature it down below, or please comment down below what set or individual Pokemon that it is that you would like to see. Don't forget, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Now, we gotta say the old saying like we always do, make holos great again. And like always, keep poking on. Until next time, Poke fam, peace out, and we'll see you then. You've been thinking of moving on, but you should know I waited for you even